Okay. So I've got some lecture points here on daily, weekly, and yearly planning. I want you to go ahead and grab whatever calendar you're going to be using, and let's start to look at some things. So your day-to-day, I've already said that 80% of your time needs to be spent in business development and 20% of your time needs to be spent in delivery. That can be really hard, especially for those of us who are personal trainers or who are selling by the session. So if you're a personal trainer or if you're selling group sessions by the session, it's really hard to peel yourself out of delivery of those sessions in order to work on your business because you're stuck in this cycle of trying to fill those sessions up in order to make the money. And this is why personal trainers have a really hard time getting to $100,000 because the only way for them to make more money is for them to add hours to their day. So when I talked earlier about having a program that's leverageable, that's exactly what I was talking about. You've got to have a program that you can run on rinse and repeat. And if you don't, I would highly encourage you to listen to the offer that I'm going to make at the end of this session, because I'm going to offer you an opportunity to take my Crush the Rush program. And within that program, you can build your program on steroids, and I will help you do that. I will hold your hand. It's also what we do during the Serve Lead Sell Masterclass, which I won't be doing again until February 14th, but that will be happening again. So really important that you have a program so that you're not just selling by the session, so that you've got time to work on your business, not just in your business, because your daily tasks when you're in audience building and development are around having conversations, creating habits that get you in front of people. And during leverage, your daily tasks, that 80%, are around analysis and around creating systems and processes that get you moving faster. So habits are key within your daily planning. That's what keeps things running day in and day out, especially when things go off the rails. So especially when something unexpected has happened, especially when you're not feeling it, especially when you have too much on your plate. Habits are the things that keep things running day in, day out. Just like I've got the habit of getting out of bed and putting my yoga clothes on, and then the yoga clothes don't come off until I've done yoga. That's what keeps me doing yoga every day. Same thing with your daily habits within your business. So when you're in the development phase, daily habit has to be in conversations and having conversations with your people and looking for your next clients, knowing who those next clients are and nurturing them toward a sale. When you're in the leverage phase of business, then you're still having conversations, but you're also analyzing what's working. And then you're using that data to create systems and processes so that you can move faster. Now, weekly, we also want to have a habit of every week doing a few things. So here are the things that you want to make sure you've got plotted out for your week every single week. The first is your gold nugget. So we talked about growth, nurture, offer. Nurture means that you are feeding your audience with information that nurtures them toward a sale. I like to suggest that you do that by creating what I call your weekly gold nugget. A lot of people will tell you that Facebook Live is the best way to do your weekly gold nugget. That is still how I create my weekly gold nugget. I also, I leverage that into a podcast and a YouTube show, but I create one really great piece of content every week, and I put it out there and I promote it. And that's what I want you guys to consume. Now, here's why I'm telling you that. We talked about my one essential rule for social media that'll keep you from pulling your hair out. If you create one gold nugget piece of content every week, whether it's an email, whether it's a long form social media post, whether it's a YouTube or a Facebook Live, that one gold nugget will keep you nurturing your audience. It will keep the nurture gear moving. So that means you don't have to be racking your brain every single day thinking about social media posts. It means instead, you can use that gold nugget as fodder for the entire week. So let me know if that makes sense to you. Who here is already doing a weekly gold nugget? I'd love to hear. Give me a chat, give me a comment. Are you already creating a weekly gold nugget? Now, here's what's great about creating a weekly gold nugget and then plotting that into this yearly calendar that we're talking about today. When you plan an overarching topic for each month, then you're able to create 12 overarching topics. So in April, we're going to be talking about getting ready for summer, how to get your energy up for summer, how to, get your body ready for summer, however you like to think about that. When you create an overarching topic for the month, you can break it into weekly subtopics. Now you've got your entire year of weekly gold nuggets planned out. We talked about the 80-20 rule when it comes to spending time in your business. It also holds very true for message delivery to your audience. So 80% of what you do with your audience should be in nurturing them toward a sale. No, I'm sorry. Let me back up. In nurturing or creating value for them. So you just want to constantly create value. 20% of the information that you put out there, 20% of your social media posting should be in making offers. So nurturing, making offers, nurturing, making offers. I also do a lot of promoting my gold nugget outside of my current audience, and that helps me to grow my current audience. So those weekly habits will cover all three of those gears. So here's how I like to approach yearly planning. I'm going to open up. Yeah, let me do it this way. Okay. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to open up that servant leader planner that I told you guys about. I think my voice is going to start getting a little nasal, you guys. I've been super sick this month, so I apologize if it does. I'll stop and take a drink of water in a second. All right. So if you're in VIP, you've seen this already. This is the servant leader planner. This is what it looks like. It is a wealth of tools and information. And let me make it a little bit bigger for you guys. Okay, I love that. That's perfect. So when you open it up, you get this, how to use your servant leader planner. It's got a little video. It tells you exactly how to use the formatting options and different things in Google Sheets. Then there's a financial projections page where you can plug in your numbers and it'll tell you what you need to, how many clients you need to have and what you're going to be making. So for instance, if I said I'm teaching yoga at $100 a month, 12 months means that each member is worth $1,200 to me. And then if I go over here and I say that I want to make $100,000 this year, then this tells me I need to have 83 members in order to make that happen. So there's all kinds of financial projections tools in here. But what I want to look at right now is the yearly at a glance piece. So as you're starting to think about your year, we know that daily we need to be having conversations. We know that weekly we need to have a gold nugget. We know that monthly, or at least every 6 to 8 weeks, we need to have a sales event. So here is the way that I plot this out. I use the year at a glance page first. So I come in here and I start to mark the personal time off that I'm taking first. You guys write that down. If I did not leave a note, if I did not leave a space in the notes document, write that down. When you start to look at plotting your year out, you want to plot your personal time off first. Here's why. Every single one of us is an entrepreneur or wants to be an entrepreneur, which means that we work for ourselves. Personal stuff will always get in the way of business. Now, that doesn't mean it has to. It means that we are all moms and dads and daughters and aunts and friends and servant leaders. And it means that we either want or need to let these things get in the way sometimes. So if you can plan out when you know life is going to get in the way, now you can plan your business around it, which is the freedom in being an entrepreneur. You guys, let me know if that makes sense to you. Let me know if that's taking any pressure off of you. I'll give you a great example of this. My husband is off every other Monday. So if I go here and I select every other Monday like this, I'm going to go ahead and turn those Mondays blue and say, I'm going to do as little work as possible, or I'm not going to work. Not because I don't want to work when he's home, because I know he's going to be back there banging around and that he's going to be demanding my attention. So I just go ahead and plan for it. If you know there's a family vacation, you don't want to be butting a sales event up against a family vacation. So go ahead and plot it out. Okay, so that's the first step. I make all of my personal time off blue, and I'll show you what that ends up looking like. Don't laugh. I do have a lot of personal time off this year. This is what it ends up looking like on my calendar. So you see all this personal time off. So I've taken off all of the Mondays. I know my husband's home. I've taken off the entire month of May because my husband is deploying this year in June. He's in the National Guard and he's going to be going to Africa. So I know I need to spend as much time with him in June as possible. I always plan to take July and August off. So I've gone ahead and turned them blue. And then I take the last 2 weeks of November and the last 2 weeks of December off. So I've turned them blue. Okay, so that's the first step in looking at your year. Now, I said that I want you to have a sales event every 6 to 8 weeks, right? That means you're doing something big for your audience. And at the end of that something big, you're going to make an offer. So if you see on my personal calendar, everywhere where I've got these strings of days that are pink, those are the days that I'm planning to do the Serve Lead Sell Masterclass with you guys. So the Serve Lead Sell Masterclass is a 3-day event. I help you guys get some big wins. And then at the end, I make an offer and some of you guys come into my accelerator program from there. So these are all the times that I'm doing Serve Lead Sell. And then I've also got single day events like the one we're doing today. This was originally scheduled for the 5th, and now we're doing it on the 12th because I was sick. So you see, I've also plotted out these single day events. And then you can see how they don't butt up against personal time off unless it was just unavoidable. So I was able to plot out the sales events. I'm able to plot out the personal time. Very important. So I do that on the year at a glance first.
I'm not sure I understand.
Siri, I don't need you right now. Siri's trying to get involved in our conversation. Okay. So we plot out the personal time. We plot out the marketing events. The other thing I didn't mention is visibility and growth opportunities. So I also will go in, and usually I use orange. It doesn't look like I've got any plotted out on here, but I'm looking for times that I can speak at women's conferences, times that I can be on other people's podcasts, times that I can speak at fitness conferences. And I like to plot those out on the year at a glance as well, because that helps me to decide sometimes when I'm going to do my marketing events, because I can do those sales marketing events right after the visibility opportunities. Really important to be looking for visibility opportunities at all times. Okay, so then once I've got all that plotted out on the year at a glance, I can go into my months and I can put more detail in here. That is how I approach creating this year at a glance, or creating my year calendar. What questions do you guys have about that? So you guys, that if you did not sign up for VIP and you don't have that servant leader sales planner, you can do that using one of those year at a glance calendars that you get off of Amazon or any other way that you do that. I would not suggest doing it in your weekly planner, because I want you to plot out your days and your weeks in there. So let's talk about a few more things. I want to circle back and talk about days and weeks. But before I do, I want to talk one more thing about monthly planning. So if you're taking notes, I've said that you need to plot out your personal time off. You need to plot out your visibility opportunities, and you need to plot out your sales events. That's really important for your overarching year. On a monthly basis, you need to make sure that you are plotting out your accounting. So in your notes, I know there's a space for a book suggestion. I highly suggest that everyone here read Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. And then there's another book called Profit First for Micro Gyms by John Briggs. Both of those great books, they both describe a method of accounting that will have you putting enough money aside so that you're paying yourself on a regular basis, so that you're putting money aside for taxes, so that you're putting the right amount of money for profit aside. Profit is different than paying yourself. And so that you're putting the right amount of money aside for operations. And within that profit first method of accounting, Mike Michalowicz and John Briggs both suggest that you do accounting days twice a month, once on the 10th and once on the 25th. So you want to plot those into your month as well. The 10th and the 25th accounting days. As you're looking at your year at a glance, I want you to go ahead and think about your monthly priority, both in terms of topics and possibly in terms of projects. And then as you start to plot out those sales and marketing events, you're looking for 10 days of promotion whenever you're creating a sales event. So you guys will notice that with me. I will do the Serve Lead Sell Challenge again on February 14th, which means on February 4th, I'm going to start talking about nothing but the Serve Lead Sell Challenge, because I want as many people to take advantage of that as possible. So 10 days of solid promotion, maybe even up to 21 days of solid promotion before you do a sales event. Who's already doing that, you guys? Who is promoting their sales events for 10 to 21 days ahead of time? And who's got that plotted into their calendars? All right, so we said yearly, personal time, visibility and growth opportunities, marketing events. You can align those marketing events with seasonal opportunities and special offers. I like to see my clients doing the same marketing event over and over again. And then monthly, you're looking at creating accounting days twice a month. You're looking at ensuring that there's a priority planned for each month. And then you're looking at plotting out 10 to 21 days of promoting for any upcoming sales events. So your homework today, when we leave this session, is going to be to do exactly that. And I want to circle around just really quickly and let's talk about daily and weekly scheduling. So I'm going to share my screen one more time and show what that looks like in the Servant Leader Planner. Not there. All right. Sorry, give me just 1 second. I'm having trouble moving things around on my screen. Okay, here we go. So you guys, this will be one of the most enlightening things that you can do for yourself the whole year. I promise you. I need you to get something that looks like this. Either grab the Servant Leader Planner by joining the VIP or grab one of those planners. I don't have one beside me, but you can buy a planner that looks like this just at Wally World at Walmart, and you can do this. I want you to plot out what your days and weeks look like on a regular basis. So if you take this Servant Leader Planner and let's say I know every day between 7:30 and 9:30, I'm going to be working out. So that's going to be personal non-work time. So I'm going to make that orange. And you might do this on a planner that you get at Wally World by just using colored pencils or colored pens. I like to color code this. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to make this orange. Nope. There we go. And then I'm going to do that every day of the week because that's always when my workout happens, right? Okay, so then I know that I get to work around 10 and I'm going to, let's do service delivery. I'm going to do office hours with my people every Tuesday from 4 to 5. So I'm going to turn that purple. And then I also do office hours with my people at 11 on Thursdays. So I'm going to turn that purple. Okay. So that's when I'm doing service delivery. On top of that, I usually have a few one-on-one coaching calls. So I block out Wednesdays. So I know I'm not going to have any on Wednesdays, but I tend to have some on Monday afternoons. So we'll pepper a few in here on Thursdays and maybe 1 or 2 on Fridays. Okay, so now I'm starting to see what the patterns in my week look like. Now we know that we have to do outreach if we want to make sales. We know we have to be out there having conversations with people. So we need to plot that in to our week. So every Monday, the first thing I do is planning when I get to my desk. So I'm going to make that pink because you see over here, planning is pink. That looks orange. Okay, good. Then after that, I'm going to do outreach. So I'm going to make that blue. Is this making sense for you guys? Are you guys really seeing how this can really show you how you're spending your time and where you're deficient, where you're not moving those gears forward? So I highly, highly suggest that as you start to plot out your 2023, one of the first things you do is block out your time for your days and your weeks so you know where you're spending the bulk of your time. Really important. I think somebody's about to come to my door, you guys. I apologize if that happens. Okay. All right. So putting all of this information together, I've kind of gone ahead and described to you my approach to scheduling. I want you to document your daily and weekly schedule. Once you've got that done and you can see where you're spending your time, I want you to do it again, but this time with intention, making sure that you are planning time for planning and white space, for just thinking. Really important. I showed you that on Mondays, I sit down and I plan out my whole week. Super important. Just like we're taking time today together to plan for the year, I want you to take time every week to plan your week because things change and we know we have things we need to fit in there. I want you to plan out time for outreach and conversations. And then I want you to know which time, day, and time. So same day, same time every week when you're doing your gold nugget. So when are you going to create the gold nugget? When are you going to send it to your audience? Because you want to train your audience to know that they're going to get that gold nugget same day, same time every week. So first step, plot out the daily and weekly schedule and then plot it out again with intention. So plot out what it looks like now, then plot out what you intend for it to look like. And I want it to include planning, thinking, white space. I want it to include outreach and conversations, and I want it to include your weekly gold nugget. Once you've got that done, then you can plot out your year, starting with personal time, then plotting in visibility time, then plotting in your sales events. Now, one more thing I want to talk to you about today is your offer. So if you don't have one offer that these sales events are leading into, it's something you really need to have happen sooner rather than later. So we've talked about how personal trainers really have trouble getting to 100,000, and that's because they are selling sessions. I want you to have a leveraged offer. I want you to have a leveraged offer that you're able to sell over and over again so that you can have that one offer for one audience. I want you to work that for 1 year. That is how you make a business that is leveraged. That's how you get to the leverage stage. That's how you get to the maturity phase. That's how you're able to have conversations and do outreach that pre-sell a program, that has something to sell at the back end of those conversations. Okay, guys. So it's January 12th right now, which means that most of us are in a stage where we either are super, super busy because it is the new year, new me rush, or you're going, oh crap, what happened to my January? You guys, let me know where you're at. Which one are you? Are you at oh crap, or are you at oh my gosh, I'm way too busy right now? The fact is, most of you guys are going to take this information away and you're going to kind of take time to let it sink in, to onboard it. Many of you guys are going to go out and purchase a planner and you're going to study this information. You're going to put it into practice and you're going to actually plan out your year. And then a select few of you are really going to act on it and allow it to change your life. For those of you who are really ready for a life change, I have something for you. So in December, I created a program that I call Crush the Rush. It's a 5-week program, and the idea behind those 5 weeks is that I teach you to create your perfect program or perfect the program that you're already teaching. And then I teach you how to pre-fill that program, even if you've never run it yet. So you're going to put everything in place so that you have got something to sell to all of these people who are making January New Year, New Me resolutions. And you're going to be able to do that without sacrificing your life, posting on social media and getting no results. So here are the things that we don't do during the Crush the Rush program. You don't learn a bunch of new tech. Amen. Thank you. You don't stress about logos and design elements, and you don't spend the whole month posting on social media. What we do in Crush the Rush is we create the assets, the scripts, and the momentum that you need so that you can onboard new clients and crush the January New Year's resolutions rush. You're going to plan and sell the perfect offer to your perfect clients during the most motivated time of the year. So what you get from this program is that you perfect your program, whether that means you're refining your current program or creating a completely new program, or even if you're creating a new program that's specific to January, February timeframe. You're going to pre-sell that perfect program now. You're going to create revenue now. And then you're going to plan the low-tech, high-leverage marketing campaign that bucks the current trends and catches the attention of your perfect future buyers. So if you don't have a program, a leveraged program that you are selling now, you are going to end this 5 weeks with a program and with clients, or a solid plan to get clients. If you do have a program, you're going to refine that program based on what we know about your clients. All right, so here's how it works. Here's the exact how it works. There's 5 weeks, access to the accelerator curriculum, and then you get support plus. So if you don't know what my accelerator is a 4-month program. It's designed to get you from that development stage to the leverage stage of your business. It's 4 months long, the accelerator is, but Crush the Rush allows you to get access to all of the support within that program, plus all of the curriculum for the 5 weeks that you're in Crush the Rush. Plus, you're going to get 10 special, specifically designed lessons that will ensure that you plan and sell the perfect offer to your perfect clients during their most motivated time of the year. So we're going to have co-working sessions. We're going to have homework review sessions. You're going to get one-on-one coaching during this time. It starts with a fast track session that we will do on Monday of next week. So Monday, the 16th, we will have a fast track session. I will teach live to you guys. I believe that's at 11 a.m. Everything is recorded, so you can grab it even if you are not able to be there on Monday. Then we do a retention session at the end because I want you to learn exactly how to make sure that you're going to keep all of these new people that you bring in. The best revenue strategy is retention, because the most expensive clients you're ever going to create are the ones that you create from cold to sold. So retention is such a key revenue strategy. And I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to do to make sure you retain the maximum number of these clients that you're going to bring in. So for my current Crush the Rushers, that retention session happens tomorrow. And for my new Crush the Rushers, that will happen at the end of your 10 lessons. So you're going to get one-on-one coaching during that time. You'll get an onboarding meeting. You get a one-on-one meeting 2 weeks in, and then you get a one-on-one meeting 4 weeks in. You get access to the entire accelerator curriculum, which is awesome because it contains so many lessons and workbooks. It creates it's got all kinds of FAQs. You can see the recordings of all of the past co-working sessions. And then for the Crush the Rushers that are coming in from today until Monday is when we're going to do the fast track session. For the Crush the Rushers that are just coming in, you're going to get a lesson dripped out to you every day for the first 10 business days that you're in Crush the Rush. So you join tomorrow, you get those lessons start dripping to you on Monday. We also do the fast track session on Monday, and you'll get that if you come in after Monday, then you'll get that lesson after that. Here's my guarantee. You will make your money back, or I will continue to work with you until you do. So the price of the Crush the Rush program is $1,650. I do have a 2-pay option available, which means that you can make that in 2 payments. Now, I want to talk to you about how this is different from the accelerator. This is not my accelerator light. It's not the accelerator program like just condensed into 5 weeks. This is a crash course to get you ready to onboard your perfect clients during their most motivated time of the year, which is the New Year's rush. My intention is that you're going to make so much progress that you will beg to stay with me for the full program. So you'll beg to stay with me for the accelerator program. Because in the accelerator program, I can teach you to leverage everything that you've learned here to go faster and to serve more clients. And I can send you into one-on-one coaching. In other words, all of my accelerators meet with me one-on-one every 3 or 4 weeks. And you will keep access to all of the group support when you stay in the accelerator. But the Crush the Rush is designed to get you to launch fast, but it's not going to get you into that leveraged phase. You're going to get a cash injection and a revenue spike and a momentum spike. And you're going to set yourself up for a better year. Here's the thing about January, you guys. Your clients are going to buy from someone. Let's have it be you. Take maximum advantage of the New Year's resolution rush. I'm so confident that I can help you maximize on the New Year, New Me rush that I'm willing to make you this special offer so that you can make it happen. It's a small group. It's 10 special lessons plus the support, plus the 2 extra lessons. If you show up and you do the work in a timely manner, if you don't make your investment back, I will keep you in the accelerator program until you do. All right. I want to talk about the special fast track session. The special fast track session is going to happen on Monday. So if you are considering doing Crush the Rush, I want you to get in there and get registered before Monday. Terry, do you mind dropping the link for us? I don't think I've dropped the link yet. The special fast track session is going to be where we're going to map out the plan to onboard 3 new valuable committed clients at an appropriate price and length of service so that you can jumpstart your revenue. And then the client retention session is going to show you how to keep all of the clients that you're going to onboard, because we all know they're going to try to quit by Valentine's Day. The truth is, inside any fitness wellness program, we have 25 to 75% attrition any month. Your new clients are the most expensive clients. So the best revenue strategy in the business is retention. All right. So I want you to consider joining Crush the Rush. I know I can help you make the revenue that you want to make this year in 2023. I know I can help you get your program together, get those conversations started, and start onboarding new clients. So go to learn.fitprosconnect.com/crush. Learn.fitprosconnect.com/crush. And let's get you registered. If you've got any questions, please comment with them. Please send me or Terry a message, and we will help you to make sure that you've got all your questions answered on that.